Well, moving out now from that story to the breaking news coming in the Pune Porsche crash case. What we're getting to hear is that the Bombay High Court has granted bail to the juvenile accused. He is going to be staying with his aunt. So big news coming in with the Bombay court granting bail to the juvenile accused. And this actually comes after his own father, Vishal Agarwal, the father of the minor accused in the Pune Porsche case, was also granted bail in one particular case that pertained to the Juvenile Justice Act. And now we're getting to hear that the Bombay court has granted bail to the juvenile and he will be staying with his aunts. So a bit of disappointing news coming in there for the families of the victims who had also met with the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, the family of the Pune Porsche crash victims. They were extremely upset with the kind of bails that were being given. And now comes the news of the Bombay High Court granting bail to the juvenile accused. Yesha joins us for more on this. Yesha, even his father was granted bail, if I'm not mistaken, in one case pertaining to this case. But tell us the latest on what grounds has the Bombay court granted bail to the juvenile? Yesha, can you hear me?
Here, of course, the application that was filed in Bombay High Court
we can
was
hear
on
you.
the grounds that be it Prashant sir, be alive. So we have Prashant Patil with us. In fact, he is the lawyer for the juvenile in this case. Sir, we've seen that the court has said that the juvenile can be moved out of remand home. He has to stay in the protection of his aunt. So what was the order and what was mentioned by the court?
So in this particular matter, we know that on 19th May 2024, the child in conflict in law, he was granted bail. On 22nd May 2024, the Juvenile Justice Board cancelled that bail and again took the custody of the child. In this particular matter, the custody of the child in conflict in law was extended on 5th June and 12th June 2024. We challenged these three remands before the Honorable Bombay High Court through the paternal aunt of this particular child in conflict in law through a writ of habeas corpus. Through this writ, we argued at length before the Honorable High Court that Section 12 of Juvenile Justice Act is amply clear that be it a non-bailable offence or a bailable offence, a child in conflict in law cannot be detained in a fashion in which he has been detained in this particular matter. The writ was allowed today and the Honorable High Court has directed the immediate release of the child in conflict in law.
So what were the grounds particularly on which this order was passed?
So this order was passed according to the legislation of Juvenile Justice Act. The rule of law is supreme. The Juvenile Justice Act, the entire scheme of the Act, if you look at it, the epicenter is the child in conflict in law. Every section has been drafted by the legislators in a fashion that the child is at the epicenter and he has to be treated according to a child-friendly atmosphere. So based on this, we argued. That was the genesis of our petition and it has been allowed today.
So what happens next? When does he step out?
He has to be released immediately post these orders.
So that was Prashant Patil with us. In fact, he spoke about how, according to the Juvenile Justice Act, in fact, we've seen that when it comes to this entire case, the premise was that the juvenile was given bail on the basis of which Pune police had challenged this very case before the Juvenile Justice Board, which he was sent to the custody, and following which, of course, he was in the custody for quite some time. Now, there was a writ petition that was filed in Bombay High Court on basis of which we saw that Bombay High Court has said that the juvenile can be released from the remand home.
This certainly would come as a big setback also for the victims' families, isn't it, Yesha? Because they've been pleading with the courts, they've been pleading with the judiciary and also with the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to see the accused's actions and not his age. Yesha, can you hear me? Okay, well, the news is that the juvenile has now been granted bail. He's going to be staying with his aunt, and that's what we're getting to hear from the Bombay court. Yesha, if you can hear me, this bit of news would be a disappointing one, a huge setback for the family members, for the kin of the victims who have been pleading to see the accused's age, his actions and not his age.
Absolutely. In fact, when you speak of this, we had seen that the family of the victims had met Chief Minister Eknath Shinde yesterday. In fact, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde had also assured them that he will expedite and look into the case. One, of course, some of the aspects that the family of the victim who met Chief Minister had spoken about was, one, there was no compensation that was given to them, on the basis of which we saw Chief Minister issuing a note that there will be 10 lakh rupees compensation that will be given families of both the victim. Apart from that, of course, ever since this incident took place, in fact, the whole premise or the whole point of this very case was, one, that the victim in this case was just let go of just because of his age. He was given a bail on the first instance, that was Sunday, approximately a month back was when he was given this bail on the grounds that he should write a 300-word essay, and following which it was also mentioned that the juvenile will have to work with the traffic police at Yerwara police station, and he should seek help when it comes to his drinking habit. He was supposed to seek a psychiatric help and also seek a help from a doctor. Now, because of the whole hue and cry about the premise that the accused was given bail was where we saw that there was a huge social
Just
media
kindly
outcry.
stay on with me.